Do you remember when we first got him?
Huh? Oh, yes.
And the way you first introduced him to the children?
Of course. It was...
Thank you for the days.
I've got years.
Those endless days, those sacred days you gave me.
Sunday morning, you made them wait in our bed, sat bolt upright, the duvet all tucked round them, while you went downstairs to get a big surprise. Helen was so excited she nearly wet herself.
She did wet herself.
And then their faces when you came back from downstairs.
Delighted.
Distraught. You played a trick on them, remember? Not a very funny one. Well, 6-year-olds don't really get irony. You stood there, holding nothing. Nothing. Oh, they were so disappointed.
Oh, well.
Then this little head popped out your dressing gown pocket. All golden and fluffy with big brown eyes. Helen's face. The look on Justin's. And little Gherkin. Our lovely, lovely little Gherkin. You just don't get moments like that more in your life.
Been a great dog. We all loved him hugely.
And now what? We're just going to put him to sleep?
It's for the best.
Is it?
He's been loyal to us, and... well, now it's our turn to be loyal to him.
What did you do after?
Sorry?
With the body, did you take it away or leave it, or what?
Oh, whatever the client prefers.
Right.
Some people like to dig a hole in the garden, shove it in a shoebox, and it's our feeder's in pet. Otherwise, it's a group cremation or individual.
Individual?
More expensive, but you get an urn with ashes.
Oh.
Can even have them buried.
Really?
Oh, a bit mad, though. Little plot in the cemetery, have a proper burial service, hymns, flowers, the whole kit and caboodle.
Gosh.
Well, not very common, though. Only fanaticals. Weirdos, I call them. Serious doggy people. People whose relationships with their pets have gone a little OTT.
Mm.
So, shall I?
Oh, sure, crack on.
What if there was something we could do? You know, some treatment?
It's prolonging his suffering, darling. Time to let him go. With dignity.
Dignity?
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh. You're right. It has been, you know, messy. Not fair on him. He's been waking up in the night quite often and wanting to get outside to do his business and not being able to make it, poor thing. Been a lot of accidents.
Oh, poor old chap.
You're right. It's not dignified. I mean, it's difficult, too. You know, when Armando's here. I mean, he stepped in it. More than once. I mean, it's not fair on him either. You're right. It's for the best.
Been, difficult for you both?
Ah, nightmare. Been getting away for weekends together's been impossible.
Yeah, you've got a point, because there could be other treatments.
I don't want Gherkin to suffer.
We can't just execute him because he's messed up a couple of pairs of espadrilles.
We're not executing him.
Like you said, there could be other treatments.
Look, it is very humane.
You're absolutely right. We have got to save him. This is Gherkin we're talking about. Our Gherkin. We must do everything we can. Leave no stone unturned. I mean, he's our past. And all that.
Take your hands off that dog, you quack.
I demand a second opinion. That dog's clearly got years left in him. Years.
With all due respect, I know he's a dear loved one, a member of the family, and... But it's important to think of the dog now. His future.
Got the point?
His quality of life. He's been a good friend, loyal to you all these years, and now it's your turn...
To be loyal to him. Where do you get this pathetic bedside banter? God!
Oh, Gherkin. No, don't you worry. I won't let them do this to you.
Yes. Darling, I promise you, whatever it costs, I will save this dog. I mean, he'd shag a log if it had a knothole big enough. There was this terrible to-do just after we first moved in. He escaped into next door's garden and tried to mount the ride-on mower. Oh, he was a bugger. I mean, that scary Mrs. Hinckley. She came out to find Gherkin humping her rear-mounted grass box. You know, after that, Christine only wanted to get his pockets picked.
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's women for you. Absolutely no respect for the fundamentals of masculinity.
It's the only way with Labradors. Way too much testosterone.
You sound just like her. You can't do that to a dog in the prime of his life.
So you defended his honor?
Yes.
Protected his knackers.
Of course.
Good for you.
Yeah. I fought to keep his tackle intact. Until he started to scratch up the leather armchairs in my study. It's terrible. As soon as he got horny, he used to take it out on their lovely big Charles Eames recliners.
Sacrilege.
As soon as I got him neutered, he never so much as scuffed them.
And now you started a new campaign. Save our Gherkin.
Yeah, well, someone has to.
Why?
Well, it's not his time. It's not right.
He is incontinent.
He can hardly walk.
Has breath you could strip pine with.
Yeah, but he has a hunger for life. Anyway, I can't let the pair of them off him just because Armando doesn't like the whiff of dog turd with his cappuccino.
So really, this is just about you. Still being there in Christine's life.
Now, don't be so ridiculous. Gherkin's symbolic. You know, he is our history. He was present through all those happy times. He watched Helen and Justin growing up. I can't go and throw all that away.
So, as long as Gherkin still sits there on the sofa, wedged between Christine and Armando, stinking of stale dog piss, then you're happy. Your presence is still being felt.
Yeah. No, that's not it at all. Can be very shrewd, our Patrick. Very superior.
Tell me about it. You want to hear what he called my boat?
What boat?
The boat I fancy buying. One I've got my eye on.
Don't tell me he didn't approve.
He called it cheap.
Did he? Oh, this looks the business.
Well, that's what I think. It's the dogs, isn't it?
Is, indeed. It's exactly what you need.
What do you need this for?
Well, I thought, you know, weekends, days out, summer holidays. You could be in the Isle of Wight in, what, 10, 12 hours, if the weather's right?
Takes 90 minutes on the train.
Yeah. Yeah, but then you wouldn't have your boat there, would you?
So?
Well, it's a boaty people place. Regattas, yacht clubs, deck shoes.
What do I want to go to the Isle of Wight for, anyway?
To show your boat off.
I don't know anyone in the Isle of Wight to show it off to.
People in the Isle of Wight would know what you're showing them. They'd appreciate it because they're boaty types. Look, you show this boat to boaty type people and they'll cream their pants. It's that sort of boat.
I don't want people I don't know to feel jealous of me. I want the people I know to feel it.
The chief frustration of having huge or unlimited wealth is knowing what to do with it. Having the confidence to waste it, to indulge it, to fritter great lumps of not-so-hard-earned cash on totally pointless things. Or even to play God, to wave your magic money wand over the rickety fence that separates life and death. Not just your own, other people's too. Or dogs, anyway. It takes nads of steel to spend and feel no guilt, to invest without a glimmer of return. Requires a truly unfettered financial spirit. It's kind of a Zen thing.
His procedure is so revolutionary, so advanced in its approach to spinal dysfunction. There's only a handful of surgeons worldwide who've attempted it.
Sort of cutting edge of cutting, so to speak.
I'm so grateful to you. We're so grateful for financing this procedure and giving us